Ancestry insiders anticipate an increased interest for meaningful gifts this holiday season, coupled with families looking for new activities while staying home together. Genealogist Krista Cowan is with us this morning to talk about finding your own family history and how it can spark more meaningful connections with loved ones. Good morning to you. Talk about the popularity of consumer DNA kits and people these days just wanting to know more about their heritage.
Yeah, thank you. So Ancestry is the global leader in family history and consumer genomics. That means we've got more than 27 billion historical records, more than 18 million people who have already DNA tested and are in that DNA network. So there's just this well of information waiting for people to make discoveries.
Can you give us any insight into how this all works and what kind of impact does this have on people?
Yeah, so there's a research study out of Emory University where they have shown that children who know their family history have more confidence, they are more resilient, they have higher levels of self-esteem. Family history is this really great way for all of us to just ground ourselves, connect ourselves to something bigger than us, and it really just helps ourselves and our children to thrive, which is something we all need more of right now.
And when we talk about the holidays and giving gifts, this can actually be a family activity. And you guys have been seeing more and more interest in this during the pandemic.
Yeah, with a lot of people at home,
right.
We know that we've seen this increase in people getting online, people taking DNA tests, people starting to build their family trees. It's a great at-home activity that parents can do with their children, that we can reach out over technology to extended family members and bring them into that experience.
And what makes this type of a gift special and unique?
Yeah. Everybody's family story is different and it's their own. And it's really, while you're discovering your ancestors, you're also discovering more about yourself, who it is that led to you and helped you to become who you are and how you can pass that information on to your children. And so, yeah, so it is ultimately the most unique thing that you can do.
And what types of things can people learn and discover about themselves and their roots? I mean, it can be also a little bit scary because you just don't know what you're going to find.
Yeah, yeah. I often mention that families are messy. Families have always been messy, and yet there's just something inherently beautiful about that. And so as you start building a family tree, which is you go to ancestry.com, you start building a family tree, you put in what you know about yourself and your parents and your grandparents, and then reach out, like I said, to those family members and see what they remember and what they know. And once you've done that, you kind of started this journey that then Ancestry just facilitates by providing you with DNA matches that are usually cousins that have other information, photos and stories. And then those 27 billion records on the site, they come from more than 80 countries. And so there's millions of opportunities for people to learn when and where their grandparents may have immigrated, or if their grandfather served in a particular battalion during a war, or just so many discoveries to be made.
Wow. Any tips or tricks on how to make the most out of the info you can find?
Yeah, get a tree started. That's the number one tip is there's lots of stuff you can just explore, your DNA match list or those records. But if you start a family tree on Ancestry has a lot of algorithms and automated processes that can help facilitate making those discoveries a little bit faster. People who've seen our commercials may know about the little leaf that pops up that shows them, hey, we think we found a record that pertains to your family. And so having that tree is the greatest way to get started.
Well, I can tell, Krista, that you get so excited about all these kind of discoveries that we can find. And will these results kind of change? I mean, because as more and more people do the test, and the network's going to keep growing.
Yeah, as we add more historical records, there's more available there. As more people take the DNA test, the science is able to get more and more refined so that we can give you more discoveries. And then, of course, as that network grows, there's possibility to connect with just more cousins.
Wow, lots of options. And what's the best part of your job, Krista?
Oh, goodness. The stories. There are so many stories. And as we deal with a holiday season this year that looks a little different than what a lot of us are used to, I think being able to help people make those discoveries and feel those connections, both to their living family members and to those who have gone before.
Yeah.
There's something really powerful about that.
That's awesome. Well, this is fascinating. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Krista. If you want to see this segment again, visit yourcalifornialife.com.